We have this very upbeat summit going on there in Pyongyang, and at the same time, there are reports that North Korea continues to work on nuclear weapons. How serious do you think Kim Jong-un actually is with regards to this peace process?
Well, we know that North Korea, South Korea and the United States, all in their own ways, have different interests, but what they have in common is that they all want to see some form of deal, and mainly for domestic reasons for all three states. South Korea particularly also wants to make sure that there will be some form of lasting peace, which will mean there'll be no future threat to them. So I think Kim Jong-un and the elites that surround him are pretty serious. They've been strangled by the sanctions of the last few years. They see a window of opportunity in terms of the willingness of President Trump to engage to a certain extent with them. They understand the way that American election cycles work, and so they understand also that there is a deadline. This window of opportunity may not last, probably will not last forever. So I think there is a degree of commitment, but of course they have said, and they've been very open about this, that they will not abandon the nuclear program completely, because they see that as what they call their deterrence, unless there is a cast iron security deal for them. So there is a balance, and I think that President Moon from South Korea absolutely understands this, and what he's trying to do is to push the process forward, bringing in the United States and North Korea.
So it's almost a cycle, right? They won't abandon the nuclear program unless the U.S. provides them with security reassurances. What concrete steps must be taken in the next few weeks, months, and probably even years, so that this process actually moves forward, so that a peace deal is sealed?
I wouldn't say it's exactly a cycle, because we do see movement forwards compared to all the other times that there's been discussions between North and South Korea, which have been gone on intermittently since 1972. This time we do seem to be seeing the whole societies and state moving forward. Also, the South Koreans do not want to see a years ahead type vision for what's going on now. Behind the scenes, people are talking about some form of peace treaty which would end the Korean War, which ended in 1953, but only with an armistice agreement. There's been no formal peace treaty. The idea from both North Korea and South Korea is if there was a treaty which was enshrined in law, particularly if the United States had signed up for this, then this would vastly diminish the possibility of an outbreak of military hostilities. This looks like it's quite far along behind the scenes. So if that happens, that will of itself break the impasse to a certain extent. But you're quite right that this is a process of itself, that there will have to be the United States in particular and North Korea tied into some form of written treaty.